Hi guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be talking about slides. Now, slides is a really cool technique, and it's the next natural one along from the hammer-ons and pull-offs. We've already found that just by simply using hammer-ons and pull-offs, instead of sometimes just picking through the scale, makes it all sound a little bit more interesting, more melodic, more rhythmical. And now with the slides, we're going to add even more scope to make it more solo-y type sounding, okay? And the more techniques we gradually learn, as we will be doing, the more you'll be able to see how the scales give you the kind of alphabet, as it were, so the kind of letters, and these give you the ability to really construct cool, interesting sentences and phrases. Okay, so these are the techniques. Now, the slides look like this, so it's as you'd expect. So for example, sliding up and down the neck, you can do all kinds of ridiculous and wonderful things. And it can sound really interesting. Oh. And you can slide all over the place. I'm just sliding between the pentatonic notes, okay? And it gives it, for me, a more kind of, I guess, vocal sound, because it's a natural slur of the note rather than very specifically plucking through different notes. Okay, so let's look at an example of slides, and in the next lesson we're actually going to apply some to a solo. You're going to be learning your first solo. So, slide number one, a slide up. Okay, and when I say up, I mean up in note, so going higher. Okay, and the first slide we're going to look at is just simply this. Okay, couldn't get any more simple than that in the slide world. We literally take our first finger on the 5th fret, so we're in pentatonic shape 1. In A minor, as always at the moment, and we're sliding up to the 7th fret, okay? So it's kind of the equivalent of just going, or hammering on, but we're gonna slide, okay? All different ways of basically achieving the same concept. So, important things to remember when you slide is, firstly, make sure you make really good contact with the first note and you keep the finger pushed down, nice and hard, okay? Now, when you first start doing this, if you go too slow, you're going to get this kind of sound. So you're going to hear the note in between, okay? So this is where what I like to call targeting comes in, okay? You have a note that you start on, and then you just target in on the note you're trying to get to, and you get to it as fast as you can, okay? So just get right over there, okay? Don't think about what one you're getting to as you're going, because all that's going to end up doing is, you're just going to be guessing like that. So we've targeted this 7th fret, and we're just going to attack it like that. And what you've got to get used to is stopping at exactly the right point. So right at the edge of the fret, just as always, okay? Now, that's our first slide. So that's the first thing you want to try and get right, okay? You can do it with any finger. I'd then practice it with the 2nd finger, with the 3rd finger, even with the little finger. So you get used with every finger to do the same movement. In return, we're going to go 7 to 5, so a slide down. These can actually feel harder, only a little bit, but exactly the same principle. Okay, you have your first note, you target the 2nd note, you stare at it, and when your finger gets there, you stop dead. Okay, and you keep it held on there to make sure that you still got the note nice and strongly. Okay, again with all fingers. Okay, so that's your first thing. We can slide up and slide down with both fingers. Slide up, slide down. So we're plucking and plucking. Okay, now the only other one we're going to be looking at in the kind of the near future is going to be this. So this will be slide up, slide down in one movement. Okay, so the first thing we just did there was actually up, and then we pluck again to slide down. This, what I'm doing here is I'm actually on the G string now, just for demonstration purposes. And I'm going from 5 to 7 and then back to 5, but all in one hit of the plectrum, okay? So I pluck it here, I go up, down. And you can hear, because I'm holding down really nice and hard here, I'm keeping it at the same consistency, the same level of volume. Okay? And that's quite hard to do. And again, with all fingers. Because as you get into kind of soloing and improvising, You'll definitely be doing this with all different fingers. Already sounds like a melody, doesn't it? There's what you need to practice, okay? To be ready for this next video where you're going to be looking at your first solo, which is a really cool little solo, you need to make sure that you practice those slides, all different variations of that I've just shown you. You can do it anywhere on the neck, in any pentatonic shape. It doesn't even have to be a pentatonic shape. You can practice going from any fret you like. Let's say we took fret 5 up to fret 12. Oh, almost. Again, the wider the slide, the harder it is because you've got to target a certain note. Okay? And equally in reverse. So, yours to practice, and next time we'll look at that solo.